Thank you. 1,400 metres to go in race one, in which there was a late scratching Bruce Scott after he caused 2 false starts. And going to the back, it's Prince Mai on top, and getting up on the outside now without cover is Man's Fortune, who was 3 wide for the first 800 metres, and also 3 wide for the first 800 was Sophonias, and it's now moving up on the outside of the leader without cover, and is in fact going to take on the leader for the lead. Sophonias takes over now from Prince Mai, although he's still got the inside running Prince Mai. I think Sophonias will keep going. Behind those then Man's Fortune from Free Andy, Lead On Lee going up 3 wide. Now tucked in behind that group of runners is the favourite Keystone Flyer easing off the fence. Behind those Gamma Raid, Bori Jet, and last of all Bengolia Adios as they come down towards the winning post, and they've got a lap to go. The first half in 30.6, second half 31 point dead, and it's a very compact field out of the straight, and it's Sophonius on top, leads out to Lead On Lee. The next one Gamma Raid, followed on the inside by Prince Mai, Man's Fortune. Behind those then Free Andy getting off the fence, Keystone Flyer back there from Bengolia Adios, and Bori Jet last of all as they head to the back, 500 out, and on top still Sophonius. Moving up on the outside, 3 wide Gamma Raid. Lead On Lee's had enough, getting up on the inside then Man's Fortune. Coming around them with a big run at the moment, Bengolia Adios, and also going with it Free Andy. Forget about Keystone Flyer, it'll run near last. Also back there Prince Mai and Bori Jet moving to third last, approaching the 200. Sophonius on top by a neck or so at the moment. On the outside Gamma Raid, behind those Lead On Lee, also Free Andy, and off the track then coming home quickly Bengolia Adios around the turn, halfway down the running. Sophonius on the inside, in the centre now Gamma Raid, and right down the outside 3 and 4 wide Free Andy. Sophonius on the inside, Free Andy on the outside, they go to the line. Sophonius beat Free Andy, Gamma Raid was next. Behind those finishing fourth then Bengolia Adios from Lead On Lee, Man's Fortune, Keystone Flyer third last, Prince Mai second last, and Bori Jet last of all. Bruce Scott was a late scratching after causing 2 false starts. Across the line in the first, 6, 1 and 5. First, number 6, Sophonius. A good run, really. It was 3 wide for the first 800 metres, gone a little bit closer to the leader, Prince Mai, with about 1,100 metres to go, and then hung on too well for them. Trained by John Michael out at Condell Park and driven a good race by Bill Hansel, started at 11 to 2. Second, number 1, Free Andy, trained by Charlie Camilleri at Lower Belford in the Newcastle area, and driven by Norm Baker, started at 12 to 1. And third, number 5, Gamma Raid, trained and driven by David Aiken from Condell Park, started at 14 to 1. The unplaced favourite was number 3, Keystone Flyer, at 2 to 1. The mile rate was a very speedy 2:1.7. The sectional times 30.6, 31.1, 29.6 and 31.5. The trifecta $782.35. The quinella $27.20. The late scratching was number 8, Bruce Scott. All monies invested on Bruce Scott to be refunded, and those prices you see there, less 5 cents, both win and place. The next, race 2. 1,400 metres to go in the second, and after yet another 2 false starts, the first of them caused by Gyra D, which is now up on the outside of the leader Pasqualina and challenging and will take over and lead Gyra D. Started from the outside of the second row where it was originally drawn. The second false start was caused by Sportsman Talk, which was banished to the outside of the front row and started from gate 6. Now Gyra D takes over with about 1,100 to go. Getting up on the inside is Jayora Glen from Pasqualina. Kentucky Bird 3 wide. Now going up very quickly now, Smooth Ace from the tail of the field. Noble Gary Shuffle back on the inside, now running 5th. Behind those Moonlight Gold. Sportsman Talk now 3rd last from the favourite Ben's Image 2nd last, and Deep and Easy last of all as they come down towards the winning post with a lap to go. First quarter 29.8, second quarter 32.9, and very bunched up in front. Gyra D leads out to Smooth Ace. Kentucky Bird 3 wide from Jayora Glen and Noble Gary. Smooth Ace behind those, then also getting through on the inside then Sportsman Talk. The next one off the track 3 and 4 wide is Ben's Image with Pasqualina, and also back there Deep and Easy as they go to the back, and on top at the moment is Smooth Ace, who goes to the lead by about a neck or so to Gyra D, but Ben's Image is going up very quickly, and Ben's Image 3 and 4 wide, and also there in the centre going well at the moment Kentucky Bird. Deep and Easy 4 and 5 wide could be the main danger. Pasqualina battling on pretty well from Noble Gary, who's all bailed up with nowhere to go, and behind those Jayora Glen going through in the centre around the turn into the straight. Ben's Image is about a length in front of Kentucky Kentucky Bird and Deep and Easy and Pasqualina around the turn. On the inside, Kentucky Bird is battling back. Ben's Image is a length in front. The mare's trying hard. Kentucky Bird coming at Ben's Image. Ben's Image in front and Ben's Image beat Kentucky Bird. That was a mighty performance from the mare. Third was Deep and Easy from Pasqualina, Jayora Glen. The next one, Moonlight Gold, followed then by Sportsman Talk. Behind those, Smooth Ace, Noble Gary, and last of all is Gyra D. 8, 5 and 9 the numbers on race 2. First number 8, and that was Ben's Image, trained and driven by Neil Day at Goulburn, started 5 to 4 against and favourite, and atoned for a pretty good performance when second here last Friday night behind Grand Delight. Second, number 5, Kentucky Bird. She put up a mighty performance. She was 3 wide for about the last 1,000 metres, seemed to be checked at about the 1,000 metre mark, and she was still boxing on so well at the finish. I think if they'd gone another 100 metres, she probably would have just about won the race. Trained by John Tapp out at Luddenham, driven by Owen Glendenning, and started at 3 to 1. Third, number 9, Deep and Easy, trained by L.B. Harper out at Dubbo, driven by Warwick Harper, and started at 11 to 2. The trifecta, $27.95. The quinella, $2.70. The mile rate, 22.9. The sectional times, 29.8. 32.9, 30.6, and the last quarter also in 30.6. To race 3, it was the 7th heat of the 4, 5 and 6-year-old championship, and the scratching was number 9, Lots of Vic. Just under 1,400 metres to travel, and Revo Boy, who won the jump and has led them a merry dance since, takes them to the back straight for the second time. Up on the outside without cover is Robin Linda, followed then by Jerry Rowan and Jennifer Bye-Bye in the 1-1. Down on the inside next is Master Batman, followed by Bayard Boy, Sir Langus on the inside from Time Express. And last of all, just tacking on now is King's Palace, which badly blew the start and probably lost about 30 or 40 metres as they swing onto that bottom bend again, just under 1,000 metres to travel. And Revo Boy, untroubled in front, leads out to Robin Linda and Jerry Rowan. Jennifer Bye-Bye next, followed back along the inside by Master Batman, Bayard Boy. Sir Langus is third last from Time Express, and last of all King's Palace. Passing the half-mile peg, just over a lap to run. First quarter 32.3, and exactly the same time registered for the second quarter, 32.3 as they go out of the straight, and have got about 700 metres to travel, and it's Revo Boy on top. Leads by a length to Robin Linda. The next one, Jerry Rowan. Jennifer Bye-Bye, hard out at the moment, is starting to move forward 3 wide. The next one then, Master Batman, Bayard Boy getting onto the back of Jennifer Bye-Bye from Sir Langus. Behind those is Time Express, and last of all King's Palace. Down the back they go, and it's still Revo Boy on top. Here come the challengers, Robin Linda, Jerry Rowan off the track, 4 and 5 wide, and coming into it quickly now is Bayard Boy. Jennifer Bye-Bye seemingly can't go on with it. Coming with a big run from right back in the field is Time Express. Getting up on the inside, Master Batman, and behind those King's Palace. Passing the 200, Revo Boy got away from him. Here's Jerry Rowan starting to put in the big ones, and down the outside is Bayard Boy. In front it's Revo Boy. Getting to him quickly is Jerry Rowan and also Bayard Boy. Revo Boy in front. Jerry Rowan trying hard. Jerry Rowan and Revo Boy right on the wire, very tight. Maybe Revo Boy fought back on the inside and beat Jerry Rowan. Very tight. Third, Bayard Boy from Sir Langus. The next one, Time Express, followed by Master Batman, Robin Linda. Second last is King's Palace, and last of all, Jennifer Bye-Bye. Well, what a close finish in the third, the 7th heat of the 4, 5 and 6-year-old championship. It was so close, in fact, that the judge couldn't separate them. 2 and 4, number 2, Jerry Rowan, and number 4, Revo Boy, dead heating for first. Jerry Rowan starting at 25 to 1, trained by Seth Cocker from Menangle Park and driven by Dennis Wilson. The other dead heater, number 4, Revo Boy, trained and driven by Colin Edwards from Riverston, started at 3 to 1. And third, number 10, Bayard Boy, started 9 to 4 favourite, trained by Jack Webb from Auburn and driven by Billy Hansel. Now there were 2 extra doubles. Number 6, Sophonius, with number 2, Jerry Rowan, returned $76.05. Number 6, Sophonius, with 4, Revo Boy, $7.55. The quinella, 2 and 4, $22. The special dividend on the extra double, number 6, Sophonius, with the second leg scratching number 9, Lots of Vic, $3.30. The mile rate was 23.2. The sectional times 32.3, 32.3, 29.7 and 29.9. To race 4. Down the back they go, about 1,400 metres to travel, and going to the lead down there and has led throughout and going along well is Scotch Riddle. Won the start and leads out to Sister Jeannie. In second position, on third position without cover, is Quick Shuffle. Going up quickly from the tail of the field now is Pride of Lexington, 3 wide. Down on the inside, now moving through along the fence to fourth position is Kelvardos from Glen Lassie. Back behind those then Classic Click, followed by Campiador third last. Tolliver Race on the inside is second last, and Pretty Sassy last of all. Approaching the turn into the straight with just over 800 metres to run. The first quarter in 31.8. And on top it's Scotch Riddle to Pride of Lexington and Sister Jeannie. Quick Shuffle in the 1-1 on the outside there of Kilvardos, followed by Classic Click and Glen Lassie. Back behind those Campiador, Tolliver Race, and still Pretty Sassy at the tail of the field. Out of the straight they go, 700 to run, 31.2 the second quarter, and they swing round that bottom turn and approach the 600 metre mark, and still on top it's Scotch Riddle. Leads by a length to Pride of Lexington and Sister Jeannie, who's been perfectly positioned throughout the race if she can get out of that pocket. The next one, Quick Shuffle, followed then back in the field by Kilvardos. Behind those Classic Click, going up quickly now, Campiador, and going up very quickly. Glen Lassie looking for a passage between runners behind those Tolliver Race, and last of all Pretty Sassy. Third quarter in 30.3 as they move on to the bottom bend, and they've got about 300 to go, and Pride of Lexington takes over from Scotch Riddle. Here's Campiador starting to come home quickly behind those. The next one, Classic Click, Kilvardos, Sister Jeannie and Tolliver Race. Pride of Lexington heads them off as they come round the turn into the straight. Scotch Riddle fighting back on the inside. Pride of Lexington, Scotch Riddle, and right down the outside Campiador coming at both of them. Campiador gets to the lead with 50 metres to go, and Campiador's won it. Campiador has probably beaten Scotch Riddle, which fought back on the inside. The next one, Pride of Lexington, behind those Kilvardos. The next one, Classic Click, followed by Pretty Sassy. The next one to finish, Quick Shuffle, back there in company with Tolliver Race, Sister Jeannie and Glen Lassie. 2, 4 and 10 the numbers on race 4. First number 2, Campiador, trained by Merv Adams from Agnes Banks, driven by his son Ross Adams, and started at 8 to 1. Second, number 4, Scotch Riddle, fought back along the rails to take second placing, trained and driven by Michael Day at Goulburn, started at 7 to 2. And third, number 10, Pride of Lexington, looked the winner momentarily at the top of the straight, but couldn't go on with the job after a tough run over the final 600. 7 to 4 favourite, trained and driven by Wayne Honan from Canoundra. Quinella returned $8.70. The mile rate was 23.1. The sectional times 31.8, 31.2, 30.3 and 30.9. To race 5, and it was the 2-year-old stakes. Down the back in the 2-year-old, and Rattle Track won the start and went straight to the lead and leads out to the favourite Jalopy a length away without cover. Down on the inside next and going reasonably well as Sir Glenwood, won the jump but allowed Rattle Track to take over after they'd gone about 50 metres, and the 1-1 is occupied by Skipper Pete. Triple Entente fifth up on the fence, followed by Daltonian. The next one on the outside is David Peterson, followed by Barrison Bow on the inside, third last. Kentucky Bow then is second last. And last of all, as they swing back round the turn into the straight with just over a lap to go, Runaway King. Around the turn, just approaching the 800 metre mark, and Rattle Track on top. Leads out to Jalopy on the outside and Sir Glenwood. Skipper Peters next, followed up on the inside by Triple Entente. The next one behind those then is Daltonian, followed by David Peterson, Barrison Park. Second last then, I should say, Barrison Bow, followed by Kentucky Bow. And last of all, out of the straight now is Runaway King. First quarter 31 dead, second quarter 33.1 as they head to the back. And it's Rattle Track leading by a length on Jalopy, followed then by Sir Glenwood and Skipper Pete. Daltonian about to be hooked out 3 wide from Triple Entente. Going up quickly now is David Peterson from Barrison Bow, Kentucky Bow and Runaway King. Passing the 400, and Jalopy given a bit of rain, ranges up on the outside of Rattle Track, but here comes Skipper Pete with a big run. Skipper Pete out after the favourite Jalopy, I think's had enough, and Skipper Pete has dashed to the lead. Around the outside with the big runners, David Peterson in company with Daltonian, and boxing away reasonably well on the inside, Rattle Track. Around the turn, Skipper Pete in the centre. On the inside, boxing on pretty well now with Jalopy making another go of it, and down the outside is David Peterson. They've got about 50 metres to go. Skipper Pete is starting to die on his run. Coming at him again is Jalopy, but Skipper Pete will win it, and Skipper Pete beat Jalopy, followed then by David Peterson. The next one to finish, Daltonian. Behind those, Sir Glenwood. Barrison Bow next, followed by Kentucky Bow, Runaway King. Rattle Track tired badly to finish second last, and Triple Entente last. 3, 6 and 9 in race 5. First, number 3, Skipper Pete, trained by Les Cosklin from Condell Park and driven by Leonie Dodge, and Leonie driving her first winner here at Harold Park and drove Skipper Pete to perfection, starting at 10 to 1. Second, number 6, Jalopy, trained and driven by Jimmy Castles from Marsden Park, started even money and favourite. And third, number 9, David Peterson, trained and driven by John Binskin from Condell Park, started at 9 to 1. The mile rate was 24.6. The sectional times 31 dead, 33.1, 30.6 and 31.9. The Quinella on that race, $6.35. To race 6, it was the main event. It was the free-for-all and the scratchings. Number 7, Goodbye Jinx, and number 9, Robber John. Out of the straight they go, just under 2 laps to travel, and Bat Dill won the jump and has led them since, although Tricky One, which got away brilliantly off the second row, did challenge momentarily for the lead going out of the straight the first time. Moving up on the outside to third now without cover is Toby Dewan, who went from last from this position the last time they went down the back straight. Down on the inside running fourth is now Pee Wee Express, followed by Shaky Jake, who's had enjoyed a pretty good run throughout, now one out and about three back. Down on the inside next is Welcome Frost, followed by Swift Hannah, and No Tie last of all. The first quarter of the last mile in 30.8, and it's Bat Dill going along very leisurely in front, and she leads out to Tricky One, and the next one Toby Dewan from Pee Wee Express. Behind those Shaky Jake, Welcome Frost on the inside, third last from Swift Hannah, and last of all No Tie, as they swing back round the bend again, and they've got just over the 800 metres to run. One lap when they reach the winning post, and it's Bat Dill on top. Tricky One off the fence is now starting to move forward and apply a bit of pressure. Off the track, they're almost three wide momentarily. Toby Dewan getting up on the inside, Pee Wee Express from Welcome Frost. Behind those Shaky Jake, Swift Hannah being switched back to the inside as Shaky Jake starts to go forward, and last of all No Tie. Second quarter in 31 dead as they go to the back, and in front it's Bat Dill being pressured on the outside now by Tricky One. The next one is Pee Wee Express, followed by Toby Dewan. Welcome Frost can't get out of that pocket at all. No Tie going up quickly from Shaky Jake, and behind those Swift Hannah. They went through the third quarter in 29.5 and onto the circle, and Tricky One got away. Here's No Tie starting to issue the challenge, and No Tie's very quickly moved to second past the tiring Bat Dill. Welcome Frost is out of that pocket and starting to charge home from Shaky Jake, and behind those Toby Dewan, but they've got to catch Tricky One. Tricky One on top, the No Tie. No Tie out after Tricky One. Tricky One a length and a half in front. He's starting to stop. No Tie switching the tail. I don't think he'll get there, although he's coming quickly. In front, Tricky One. No Tie right on the wire. Might have all very tight. Maybe Tricky One lasted to beat No Tie. This is very tight. Welcome Frost next from Shaky Jake. The next one, Swift Hannah, followed then by Toby Dewan, Bat Dill and Pee Wee Express. 10, 5 and 8 the numbers on race 6. Number 10, Tricky One. The winner just managed to last to get the photo verdict over number 5, No Tie. Tricky One, trained and driven by Joe Ilsley at Mona Vale, started at 8 to 1. Second, number 5 is No Tie, trained and driven by Vic Frost from Exeter on the south coast, started at 11 to 2. And third, number 8, Welcome Frost, trained and driven by Brian Hancock from Albion Park, also on the south coast, started at 11 to 2. The scratchings were 7 and 9. The unplaced favourite was number 6, Toby Dewan, at 11 to 4. The Quinella, $11.95. The trifecta on that combination of 10, 5 and 8, $340.30, and the mile rate was 21.6, sectional times 30.8, 31 dead, 29.5, and the last quarter in 31 seconds. To race 7. To the back they go, just under 1,400 metres to travel, and Den's Double, after being three wide for the first 500 or so, but takes over now and leads out. In second position is Fast, and going up very quickly now from the tail of the field is the favourite Flaming Thunder. Dropping in now to the beautiful one out and one back trailing position, and going comfortably is Native Orchid, who early on was vying for the lead. The Chauvinist back along the fence now running fifth. Behind those is Monique Miss, followed on the inside then by Adieu Caramia and Farley Flyer, and the last two Glittering and Save the Recire, as they swing back round the turn into the straight with just over the half mile to travel. And it's Den's Double on top, the Flaming Thunder, followed by Fast. The next one, Native Orchid, followed on the inside then by the Chauvinist. Up on the outside back there, fifth last now is Monique Miss, followed by on the inside Adieu Caramia. The next one then on the outside and about to go forward perhaps is Farley Flyer. Behind those on the inside, second last, back in the field at the moment is Glittering, and last of all Save the Recire. First quarter 31.8, second quarter 31.4 as they swing off that back turn and head down the back straight for the last time, and it's Den's Double on top to Flaming Thunder. He's been allowed a little bit more rain, Flaming Thunder, and gets to within half a length. Down on the inside is Fast. The next one, Native Orchid, followed then by the Chauvinist. Behind those now Monique Miss. Going up very quickly, Save the Recire, and to back in the field Farley Flyer in company with Adieu Caramia, and last of all is Glittering. Onto the bottom circle, they've got about 300 to go, and Vic Frost still hasn't moved on. Den's Double. Den's Double on top. Fast might be the danger in behind the leader from Flaming Thunder, Monique Miss, and behind those the Chauvinist. Den's Double kicked away. Here's Fast starting to put in the big ones down the outside. Oh, there's no danger to Den's Double. Vic Frost released a little bit of leather, and Den's Double came away and beat Fast. Off the track third then was Flaming Thunder, followed by Glittering, and the next one the Chauvinist. Behind those Monique Miss, followed on the inside by Adieu Caramia. Farley Flyer back there third last in company with Save the Recire and Native Orchid. 5, 2 and 9 the numbers in race 7. First, number 5, Den's Double, with the exception of about the first 200 metres when he was posted 3 wide, got to the lead and gave nothing else a chance. Ridiculously easy win in the end. Trained and driven by Vic Frost at Exeter on the south coast, started 2 to 1 against and favourite. Second, number 2, Fast, trained and driven by Johnny Minyemi from Luddenham, started at 15 to 1. And third, number 9, Flaming Thunder, trained and driven by Paul Fitzpatrick from Condell Park, started at 3 to 1. The mile rate was 2.3 exactly. The sectional times 31.8, 31.4, 31 dead and 29.8. Quinella on race 7 returned $11.65. To harness racing during the forthcoming week. 2 big meetings on tomorrow afternoon, a meeting down at Goulburn and also one of the big meetings of the year at Coolamon down in the Riverina area of southern New South Wales, and tomorrow night a big meeting at Cessnock. On Monday, big meeting at Fairfield, and one of the features of that meeting will be the presentation of the Electric Eels, the Parramatta Rugby League football team. On Tuesday, back here at Harold Park. On Thursday afternoon, a twilight meeting. First race at 3:20 at Menangle Park, and then next Friday night back here at headquarters at Harold Park. To race 8, the second leg of the Daily Double. Down the back they go, 1,400 metres to travel, and Woody One on top leads out to Pleasant Fellow. Down on the inside running third now is Hondo Flex, and Whistler Troon drops into the 1-1, but taking off quickly from the centre of the field is Napoleon Stone, and Napoleon Stone going up quickly 3 wide. Down on the inside running about 6th at the moment is Ridgefield Park, followed then by Bromac on the inside. On the outside and going up quickly now as Napoleon Stone took off was Longview Bay. Back in the field second last Lady Candios, and last of all is Mr. Authority as they swing back round the turn into the straight again with just over the half mile to run. Out on top it's Woody Wonder, Napoleon Stone, Hondo Flex, and now Pleasant Fellow lobs into the 1-1. Ridgefield Park now running 5th on the inside back there. Down on the outside then was Whistler Tune, followed on the inside next by Bromac, Longview Bay. Back in behind those then Mr. Authority, and last of all is Lady Candios. Out of the straight they go, 700 to run. 31.2 the first quarter, 32.6 the second quarter as they head to the back. And on top it's Woody One, leads by a half a length to Napoleon Stone, and the next one Hondo Flex, wedged away in that pocket with nowhere to go. 1-1 is occupied now by Pleasant Fellow, and taking off very quickly and going up from the rear of the field, Lady Candios. Ridgefield Park's out of that pocket and starting to come home quickly between runners. Also going up there again is Whistler Tune. Behind those then Bromac, Longview Bay and Mr. Authority. Onto the circle, they've got 300 to go. It's Woody One on top to Napoleon Stone. Here's the big danger, Ridgefield Park starting to come into it quickly. 3 wide from behind those, Pleasant Fellow and Hondo Flex. Around the turn, it's Woody One on top, Napoleon Stone and Ridgefield Park down the outside. Woody One on top, Woody One starting to come away, and Woody One punched right out by Tony Turnbull, wins it brilliantly. Woody One first, Napoleon Stone second, then on the outside Ridgefield Park was third from Hondo Flex. The next one Pleasant Fellow, Bromac, followed then by Whistler Tune, Mr. Authority, and the last 2 Longview Bay and Lady Candios. 3, 8 and 7 the numbers in race 8. First, number 3, Woody One, driven perfectly in front by Tony Turnbull from the lagoon near Bathurst, started at 8 to 1, gave nothing else a chance really. Second, number 8, Napoleon Stone, trained by Darren Binskin at Condell Park, driven by his father John, started at 7 to 1. And third, number 7, Ridgefield Park, trained and driven by Brian Hancock from Albion Park, started 11 to 8 against and favourite. The mile rate in the last was 2.4 exactly. The sectional times 31.2, 32.5, 31.1 and 29.6. Trifecta on 3, 8 and 7, $721.95. Quinella, $32.35, and the Daily Double, 10 Tricky One and 3 Woody One, the pair of ones, although it was 10 and 3, $47 even. Just a couple of reminders about some very big meetings coming up. One in particular is a public meeting to be held at the Bankstown Paceway on Sunday week. That's Sunday the 25th of May. It's an open meeting to all members of the public, those interested in the future of the Harness Racing Authority's announcement regarding condition and all mobile racing, 7 o'clock at the Bankstown Paceway Function Centre on Sunday week the 25th of May. And also, speaking about Bankstown, a very big harness race meeting coming up there on the 26th of May, and one of the big races will be the 3-year-old Guineas clash between the brilliant Smooth Falcon from Victoria and Shaky Jake, who won last week's $100,000 Foster's Sires Stakes 3-year-old classic here at Harold Park. A couple of big announcements here concerning the Bankstown Club coming up in the next 8 days or so in harness racing. That's all we have though in harness racing this week on ABC TV, but don't forget to continue watching the television during the day for a big coverage of the big Sydney versus Country Rugby League clashes live from the International Sports Centre in Newcastle.